I'm Holly Constant.
And I'm Maddie Hockaday. We really love Parks and Rec, and we really love behind-the-scenes details.
So we're researching everything from DVD extras like deleted scenes and commentaries,
plus interviewing cast and crew who actually worked on the show.
We also bring on guests and friends to geek out about everything parks.
So join us, you tropical fish.
This is literally the best Parks and Rec rewatch podcast.
We're your park pals.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.
All right, here we are. Welcome to Park Pals Meet and Greet.
Meet and greet, or as I like to call it, the Halloween episode.
Yes, exactly. And we were saying that the A and B stories, I feel, of the last couple episodes have been kind of like overlapping, which is really great for them, like to have created that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah.
They're both very memorable. Very
memorable. Yeah, to the point where, because I feel like Leslie's story typically not overshadows, but like really runs the whole episode. And I think a lot of the Halloween parts are running the episode this time too. Like, they're equal.
They definitely flip-flop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's true. Okay, well, Meet and Greet, Season 4, Episode 5. This is directed by Wendy Stanzler, who is actually known for Sex and the City, which we've talked about, I think, a little bit when she was on last time. She directed an episode of the reboot of Party Down, which Adam Scott is in, which is a nice little, connection. She also directed one of Dolly Parton's Heartstrings episodes, which is so good.
Nice.
If you guys haven't watched that, you should 1000% go watch those. They're like based on the song titles of each of her songs, but like an episode is around it. So good.
I love her.
Me too. And then we talked about this when she directed another episode, but she directed a lot of the You're the Worst, which is a TV show that actually quite a few people have heard of, but I hadn't actually heard of it until this. But she's also an editor and producer, super iconic. She directed Flu Season, one of the best episodes ever.
Yes.
She also directed Leslie versus April and Recall Vote, which they're both amazing episodes.
Great episodes, yeah. I'm excited for those, especially the April versus Leslie.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so good. And then this is written by Katie Dippold, who has written so many amazing episodes, including Beauty Pageant. She's still out and about, super well known in the comedy world. Everybody knows her. Reminder, she wrote The Heat, that one with Sandra Bullock, the new Ghostbusters. She is a UCB gal and really just like all over the place and so talented. So, and I've also seen that she's performing still at UCB with some people. I don't know if it was like a special thing or if she's like consistently doing that, but she's out and about. So we have a great gal team on this one.
Beautiful. Love it.
Yay.
Woman power.
Yep. So I've got summary written whenever you're ready.
Perfect. So April and Andy are ready to host their very own Halloween party and are inviting the gang to celebrate, much to Ben's annoyance. Meanwhile, Leslie hopes Tom and Entertainment 720 can help her get a leg up with the businesses in Pawnee in her run for city council. Anne gets some handy homeowner lessons from Ron.
Yes, she does. That's a really cute little moment between them. I like that.
I love it, and it's so relatable. Like, it's probably one of the most relatable things. Is like, everybody needs like a dad like Ron that's like, I'm going to walk you through how to take care of your shit.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. I feel like, I don't know, relatable isn't the first word, but like everyone needs that.
Yeah.
So like,
I think it's
totally get what you're
relatable for me as Anne. Because a lot of these things you don't like. I feel like when you become an adult, you learn all the things you didn't learn in school. And it's like, why did they not teach us this? And taking care of your home is definitely one of them. So I felt that's where I was relatable, was with like Anne, where I'm like, I wouldn't know how to fix my faucet if it was doing that.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. I get it now.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying like your dad taught you how to do all this stuff
and
like gave you a toolbox and stuff.
No.
Okay.
No, I just the relatableness of, I'm really glad that
Not
my husband
knowing.
knows, because I don't. Yeah.
Well, we start this episode with Andy and April talking about their Halloween party, and they're checking things off their list to make sure they got everything.
Yep.
Great writing on this, like the juxtaposition of Andy and April's like personalities. Oh my God, I love that. When Andy's trying to keep it so upbeat.
Have it written as the juxtaposition between Andy and April is the actual verbiage I have in my notes.
Yay! Twins.
Yes, and their bag is from Food and Stuff. So we're getting some more full circle of the town. Of course, they would go there to get their stuff.
Yeah, which is hilarious that they have all those things.
Right. It fits.
I mean, it makes sense in the canon of the story, of the show.
Right.
But it's just really funny. But yeah, Andy's keeping it positive and upbeat, and April's like murder and death. And honestly, it sounds like a great party. Tequila, dancing, pumpkins. Love it.
Yeah. I know. It's great. And I think every Halloween party needs a little bit of both, right? Because you need that like scary Halloween factor, but also the we're here to have fun thing.
Yeah, totally.
So
I am not a horror movie person. I can't remember if you are. Are you a horror movie person?
If I don't have to watch it by myself, like it depends. Like I need to be able to hide behind something, or I need to have an out if I want it.
Right.
But yeah, I can get behind it. It's like, but I would only watch it, in October. Like that's when we watch our scary movies. Like whereas some people just watch them whenever because they love horror movies. So I'm definitely not that. I'm like, in the spirit of the season, I'll watch like The Conjuring and stuff like that. But yeah, nah.
Yeah, my friends Alex and Lauren. Alex played guitar for me in my band when I was doing music still, and she and her sister are like so into horror movies. Like they will go to like literally any horror movie that they have out, and it's just like really funny to talk about that together because we kind of make a joke about it now where I'm just like, okay, you can tell me some scary stuff, but don't tell me all of it because I can't handle it.
Oh yeah. And I definitely can't, like we've gone to see things in theaters and then I have to go home and watch like an episode of The Office or Parks and Rec because I can't just go straight to bed after that. But
that's totally me.
I can after I would listen or watch anything true crime related, which kind of scares me about myself.
That is interesting. I wonder if that's because that one's real, but that's even more scary.
Right.
Almost.
It should be.
I don't know.
Yeah. But it fascinates me.
But there's a lot of people that can do that. I can't do true crime either. No. Like I'm all or nothing.
Yeah. That's fair.
It's just too freaky. But anyways, it's all good. Whatever. Yeah. You know what? Different strokes. Yes. It's all fine. Well, now Tom is preparing Leslie for an upcoming meet and greet, as we heard in the title of the episode.
Hold on.
Yes.
I'm not done with the beginning. Really quickly.
Okay.
Firstly, it's an empty office. So I want to know what's happening. Like, are they just there after hours? Or
maybe.
Like that was my question. Is like, what do you think's going on? Like they just got there super early from work, or they stayed super late? Because then they're not. I could
see it being after.
Because then they're like at home early, right? Because Ben gets home and they're already home. Like everything's decorated.
That's true.
So that was just a side comment.
I guess it depends on if it's the same. Did he say if it was tonight? Maybe he did say it was tonight.
Yes.
I feel like he didn't. I feel like he just said it was a Halloween party.
He could have been. Yeah. I don't remember when they said it was.
Either way.
Yeah. And then the other thing was blood orphans because Andy didn't know what that was. And I also didn't know what it was. Do you know what it is?
No.
Yeah. It's not cute. So a blood orphan is someone who has made themselves an orphan by murdering their own parents.
Oh.
And with the added luxury of either consuming or bathing in the blood.
Wow. Did not even think to look that up. I was just like, oh, it's a scary thing.
Yeah. Well, I was
There's
like...
a lot of movies like that, though, where like the kid
it happens.
is a killer.
It's real. Like there are actual true crimes that have happened like that, which is nutso. Yeah. But I was like, blood orphans. Okay. Andy said he doesn't know. I don't know. Let's figure it out. And I read it and I was like, I hate that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's good to know. Have you, speaking of true crime, have you watched Only Murders in the Building yet?
Oh, we've watched the first season. We're behind,
God,
but
so
I
good.
love it. And I love Selena
so
Gomez and Martin Short and Steve Martin. They're just, what a great cast.
Oh my God. The whole cast is so good. Like, regardless of if they're leads, they're so good.
Yeah, it was very well done.
Okay.
Now I'm ready. Sorry.
Okay. No. This is good. That's good to know. Good to know. Next month is October. Well, I'm time dating us a little bit because this will probably come out.
It could come out on Halloween.
Maybe this will come out in October too. Yeah. I don't know. Who knows how long the strike's going to go on? Whatever. Anyway, okay, moving on. Now Tom is preparing Leslie for an upcoming meet and greet for running for office. And Tom says to get over it when Leslie says, like, she hates talking about herself. I talk about myself constantly. Yeah. People love me for it.
Yeah. I think, and honestly, for her position, that's great advice.
Yeah, to like get over it kind of thing.
Yeah, get over it. You're going to have to talk about yourself because you're not going to, it's like a job interview. That was very similar to the advice I got about like when I was doing job interviews. Cause I also hate, like, I feel like I get really awkward about compliments and also like talking about myself. Like I feel weird talking about myself, but it was like, don't expect to get the job if you're not going to talk about yourself. You have to, and that's what she has to do right here. It's a job interview, basically. She has to get up there and, you know, we see her struggle with it a little bit later in the episode, but it's like, you have to say, yes, I did that. Yes, I'm the reason that works, because otherwise, you know, and you don't have to discount other people like and their effort into it, right? Like the Harvest Festival, but like you ran that, and that's okay to say that and have confidence and, you know, and own it.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's a difference between like bragging and just stating facts.
Absolutely.
Like Martin actually asked her, like, you had a lot to do with it. Like, yes. The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Not like, were you the best one on the team? Even though the answer is yes for that one
right.
too. But you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
But side note, there was a deleted scene here that said that she's doing this because her advisor says she needs to be more on the side. Like, one of her weaknesses is that she's not on the side necessarily yet of small businesses. So that's one of the things that she needs to do. So that's why she's doing this. And she also needs to, according to her advisors, she needs to grow 4 to 6 inches.
Oh my gosh.
Which I think is hilarious because so many like test groups and random stuff, like, I don't know, things come up where things you can't control. So it's like, what am I supposed to do about this? You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, yes. And some of it's like appearance, but some of it's appearance that you can't, it's not like clothes or whatever. Right.
Right.
So,
right.
Yeah. Very weird. Interesting.
She also has crazy eyes. Like, she doesn't say that in this episode, but she says that in the other one. So like, I mean, I don't know how she's going to control that either.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What can you do?
Each their own.
So now we're meeting/hearing of Martin Kernston, though, for the first time from Kernston Rubber Nipples, the Nipple King.
Yes.
So gross.
This reminded me of Devil Wears Prada. You know how Andy knows everything that everyone that Miranda's going to have to meet. Like, I actually thought Tom did a really good job here. And I think we're seeing a really good side of his business, which is really cool because so much of the time we've been talking about like, what the fuck are you doing? So it's really cool to see this side of him that he went into so much effort to prep this for her. And I just love seeing the effort he put in. I thought he did a good job.
Yeah. I think that too. I wrote that too. The binder's really great. It's really informative. I was proud of Tom for putting it together. And I also like how committed they both are because, you know, when Tom says that thing of the two people like that are made up, and Leslie goes into this whole detail of like, this person is more of a confidant and this person, and Tom's like, I made those two people up. Like, proving that she doesn't know it all, number one, but number two, that he really did his research.
Yeah, which is cool because it's often the other way. So
totally
nice little ad there.
I know, it's nice to see a brief glimpse of it, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
We need it. He needs it.
Exactly. Well, Tom gets a call from John Ralphio, and apparently on the other line, John Ralphio is crying, which is a little mystery as the show unfolds.
Foreshadowing, yeah.
Sad.
I love John Ralphio. And
I like
the thing, though, about John Ralphio is that if he calls crying, he could be crying about anything.
That's so true.
He's an emotional friend, like to the best effect, right? It's not bad to be an emotional person, but he's dramatic, is what I would say.
Right. Yeah. Which really leaves it open ended because you're like, what is he crying
could
about?
Have stained his suit,
real or not?
They could be out of money. Who knows?
Right. Right. Martin Kernston, apparently, I like this line, is allergic to chestnuts and good haircuts.
Good haircuts, which is great. I really would love to know if that's his real hair. Do we know?
It's not.
Okay.
As far as like his real hair, I think it is, but that's not how he wears it.
Okay. That was my question, was like, did they do this hair specifically for the character?
They did. Oh my God. I have a note later on when I introduce him, the actor. He looks really good.
Does he?
He looks really good. Like, he has this kind of swept back hair, and he does not look as old or like homely as Martin Kernston does.
Look at you, wardrobe and hair department. Love it.
Yeah, they did a good job. All right, so now moving on to when Ben walks into Annie and April's house, or I guess all of their house.
I would have a heart attack.
Yeah, the skeleton falls and like attacks him basically. But then Ben gets like passive aggressive about his anger and it's annoying. I mean, it's hard to confront, but like as it goes on, it's actually really annoying to me about Ben.
I
just
agree.
Like, what are you doing? Just say it.
Well, yeah, because I think it's also, I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, for your experience with the show, but it's hard for me as an audience member to know, are you being that way because you're mad that they made a decision about the house without you? Are you mad because you feel like you weren't invited? Are you mad? Like,
I think it's the first one.
Okay. Because I was like, I can't, because some of the stuff is like, well, I'm just going to be in my room because this party is, so part of it, I was like, I don't know. Is it just like, well, they didn't tell me about it, so like I'm not invited or whatever.
Yeah,
but
I think it's the first one because at the end he's like, if something big goes on with the house, like tell me.
Right.
He does have, I think he like it just adds insult to injury that he wasn't invited.
That's true.
You know?
Okay, that's what it is. It's the cherry on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
But we're seeing something here from Ben because he's usually the logical.
Yeah.
Right. Where he's usually the logical, straightforward, adult, mature person in the room. And he's not that right now. Like, honestly, at the end of it, I'm like, Andy handled it better than Ben did.
Definitely.
And so I think again is just a great juxtaposition. Like they're doing a great job of showing other characters' strengths.
Yeah.
And like Leslie and Ben's weaknesses and points here. So it's really cool to see that. But yeah, I agree with you. I get really frustrated with Ben. And I'm also, he has a sarcastic comment here in this scene with Andy. And you can't do that with Andy. Like he's not going to pick up on the sarcasm. I can't remember exactly what the line is, but you're not helping anything, Ben.
Right. Totally. Yeah.
So
no, it totally makes sense. And I mean, I do think that it's showing a little bit also, which is interesting. Yeah, you're right about like how usually it's pretty straightforward, I feel. But like he talks about how his parents are divorced because they never communicated. And so I'm just like, well, then that clearly didn't work. So
right. Did we not learn?
Also, yeah, but I get it. It's also ingrained in your brain of like, that's how we deal with conflict, keeping everything bottled up.
That's how I was taught to deal with it. Basically.
Right.
Yeah. So that was modeled to me. But side note, I think they did a wonderful job decorating. I think it looks great.
It looks so good.
Yes.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm back at the meet and greet if you are.
Yes. And it looks like a party for Entertainment 720.
Yes. Entertainment 720 is literally all over the room. Tom's face is everywhere. It's so awful. And Tom is doing the thing that we've been talking about where he's spending money on useless things, like which we'll talk about later too, like face rugs and those Andy Warhol pictures and just like his little espresso cup pictures or whatever kind of thing.
And it's the thing that also jumped out to me is it's not like it's more like what she says, that it's a party for Tom's face, not Entertainment 27. Wow, 720. He doesn't have the logo in those Andy Warhol. It's his face.
Right.
So it's like,
yeah, it's just everywhere else, which like no one, which again, I'm jumping ahead, I guess, in a lot of instances, but like she also says that the logo makes no sense. So no one even knows what it means, which is so true. So like, even if you did see the logo, you'd be like, what is this?
Right.
Yeah.
I have more thoughts later about how this, like, there's just so many things going wrong here.
Yeah, totally. Well, Leslie wants all of it gone except for the cake. Keep that cake.
Keep the cake. Keep the cake. Same.
Scrape off everything. This scene was filmed apparently at the Holiday Inn Towers sales office at 150 East Angelino Avenue in Burbank, which is very close to Pasadena. So if
it does look like a hotel.
It's totally a hotel.
Yeah.
But now we're back at the party, if you are.
Yes. And Chris is again pissing me the fuck off.
He's crazy. And we learn a little bit that Millie's a little crazy too, which I mean, they're supposed to be, I guess, like they said, they're literally the same person. But there's so many people there. It's really bumping. Donna's outfit is sexy. Her hair looks so good. I was really into everything she was wearing.
Yes. She looks great. And I'm with her though. She's like, she's so annoyed with Chris.
Yeah,
and the way
like,
he's
I'm
getting
done.
like up in everybody's business.
Yeah. Like, this was fun. Bye.
Yeah.
I love Jerry being Mr. Potato Head. That's actually kind of awesome. Kind of
it
a
is
great
awesome.
outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, Chris said he didn't want to make Jerry uncomfortable, so Millie isn't coming. But Jerry's like, look, it's fine. I don't care, whatever. And then he texts without breaking eye contact with Jerry, which to me is weird. I think that's even more uncomfortable and weird than texting
I agree.
with, like, in the middle of something.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, take a break, text Millie, and come back.
Right. Yeah, and I always say, hold on, I really have to send this message real quick. And then that way, that's so awkward.
It is really
it's
awkward.
Too much eye contact for me.
Yeah. I do love that Ron only has one Halloween outfit, his pirate outfit.
Me too. And that is my
That's actually
husband.
really
If he
funny.
could have one outfit and just wear it every year, like that's what he would do. Like, and I think it's so Ron. And it makes sense. Like, because I mean, I think there's a funness to picking a different outfit every year. I think there is like, that is fun. But I get like monetarily, it's like, well, now I'm not spending $80 every October for an outfit.
100%.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And Andy picked a really cheap one too, I guess, because he is Chuck Liddell, which is a UFC fighter, which I had no idea.
Yeah.
It's also really funny because his team in, UFC is apparently called The Pit.
I know. Isn't that cute?
How ironic.
I don't know if they picked him because of that or if it just was
I wonder.
They just found out later. So cool.
I know. For those of you who don't know, you're being like a little silly if you don't know, but The Pit is Andy's song.
Yeah. And
but it's also the actual pit.
It's what took Andy down.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's what gave us Andy in the first place.
Yeah,
Oh
exactly. So
love it.
Yeah, and Chuck Liddell, his record, just because I think it's pretty impressive, was 21-9. So he only lost 9 of 30.
Wow.
Fights. I can't really get into MMA or the UFC stuff. It's a little brutal for me.
Really?
Yeah. Have you watched it?
No, all I really know is WWE, and that I know is like staged pretty much. So I don't really
that's
care
acting,
about it.
which is fine. But I'm more into boxing because you can only use your fists, and that gives me some solace. The UFC stuff, they'll take people to the ground and just smash their head into the ground, and it makes me so uncomfortable. Like it makes me so sad.
Yeah, even boxing is tough for me. And I love boxing. Like I box all the time. Yeah. But I don't spar. And if I do spar, I'm not trying to like win. Do you know what I mean? I'm not trying to actually hurt anybody. I just want to like get my own anger out.
Yeah, it's a workout and it's a stress relief for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yes. Anywho.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Ron gets a toolbox, quote unquote. From Andy, which is a grocery bag. And it's cute, actually, because Sonic the Hedgehog is in there.
Yes,
the cartridge
Ben
and John
Schwartz.
Ralphio. I know.
Yeah, and Ben Schwartz voiced him in the movie, which is another cute little runaround.
I know. I feel like we've got a lot of connections in this one.
Yeah, it's cute. It also makes no sense why that's in the toolbox bag.
Nope. But no idea. And there's also jelly beans in the flashlight and half of a scissor. It's just a lot of nonsense.
I can see if I put myself at 10-year-old me, if I had a flashlight and it ran out of batteries, like, I'll hold candy in that shit. Sure.
Yeah.
But,
sure, why not?
But we're adults. We live in a home. We need to have some tools.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm back at the meeting if you are.
Yes.
And Leslie is saying that she's gone to each one of their small businesses. And Tanya from Sue's Salad says she's never seen her at Sue's Salads because I don't hate myself,
I hate myself, Tanya.
I love that so much.
I know. I can't decide if that's my favorite line. There's a line in here that I quote all the time. And I think that's got to be my favorite line. But this one's got to be a close second. It's so good.
Totally. It's so good. But Leslie does apologize. She's like, look, I'm sorry, but I stand by my decision to not eat salads and other disgusting things.
Yeah. And I have respect for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Apologize, but be like, I'm not going to change for your vote, basically, is what she's saying.
Right. 100%. Tanya is played by Becky Fire. We've seen her many times, both at the Harvest Festival and a couple of other times. And she's great. I love her. I think that she always does really well.
Absolutely.
Okay, now we are at meeting Martin Kernston, like the official, not just a picture, but like the actual Martin Kernston. Leslie's talking to him. He is played by Nicholas Horman, who despite how awful they make him look, he actually looks so much better in real life, you guys. I'll try to post a picture if I remember, but I think you should just Google him now. He's been in Modern Family, Kramer versus Kramer, Girl Meets World. He's a huge theater actor also. He's done work at the Kennedy Center, American Repertory Theater, which is in Boston, by the way, ART, represent, which is near Harvard, and also where a lot of Broadway shows start. He's also done work at La Jolla Playhouse in California, and he narrates audiobooks, which is really fun.
He's got a good voice for that.
Mm-hmm, totally.
Yeah, he looks good.
Yeah, like a silver fox more so than this weirdo.
Good for you, Nicholas.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah.
But this is where he asks if Leslie had a lot to do with Harvest Festival, and she starts rambling, saying like, no, I didn't have anything to do with it. I was barely a part of it. I held them back, really. And this was actually really interesting for me to hear because she said bureaucrats aren't used to bragging about themselves. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yes, they are. But I was thinking politicians. Politicians are used to bragging about themselves, but bureaucrats not necessarily.
Okay, that makes sense because my brain went to politicians too.
Yeah. And bureaucrats are more the people that are behind the desk doing the actual job, like Leslie, which a lot of politicians are doing too. I'm not trying to pigeonhole anybody, but that's kind of like politicians, I think, might be more used to it because they are in office and trying to run campaigns and everything.
They're more in front of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So then she tells Tom to get over here and like say how amazing she was at Harvest Festival. And this is where we go off the rails. And Tom totally steamrolls and talks about himself and Entertainment 720 and steals Martin Kernston away.
Yeah, I have so much frustration because not only has she hired him to do this for her, he's a friend.
Yeah.
Like, and he's not putting, if he had a conversation with her up front also, like, this might look different. It might feel different. She might have wanted to collaborate a little bit more. How can we both, win from this? Yeah. Whereas right now he just looks like a dick. And I love the way they do this, right? Like she said, I don't throw around the word butt face very easily.
Yeah.
But Tom's being a real dick. And I'm like, I know. I just love it. 'Cause he's being a real dick. And, honestly, as we go, things get even more ridiculous. Right. Mm-hmm. And he probably doesn't realize it because he's throwing his Hail Mary of like, I have to save the company, but he's making himself and the company look worse.
That's true too.
Because if he had just run it like he was going to run it and have Leslie look so good, I'm sure people would have asked her who put on this event.
Yeah, that's real. That's true. And it kind of bites him in the ass also on the way out because they do say that Entertainment 720, or Martin says that business is too flashy and he doesn't like showmanship. So he's not going to work with her or them. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So kind of sad. But I do like how he makes examples of words that he makes up, like innovate. Just one way that he innovates. Saying tails instead of the deets.
Yeah, that was a good explanation.
Yeah. And Leslie's like, look, I don't need your help anymore. Like, get out of here, whatever, you're a traitor, bye. Which, look, that's her prerogative. That's, I get it.
Yeah.
But
if I was in her shoes and didn't have the full scope of what was going on, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And even if I knew what was going on, I'd still be mad. I mean, I'd be more acceptive. That's not a word. Accepting, but.
Understanding.
But yeah. All right. Well, now I'm at Lowe's if you are.
Yes. And this is my favorite line.
Oh my God. It's so good.
I use it all the time with Ron walking down the hall or the aisle rather. And a Lowe's person being like, can I help you? I know more than you.
Yeah. I know. So many people use it. Everybody does, especially if you actually do know more than the person asking you,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's really hilarious. Well, just to like paint the picture, Ron is going to Lowe's because he's trying to make a toolbox / like fix Andy's home, Andy and April's house. And me and Brooklyn repeat that line all the time as well. But side note, this Lowe's worker is name is Dave Freemop on IMDb. And when I was looking up who to contact, I was like, that's not really like the name that they gave him. I paused it. His name tag says Dave Freemop on his
That's
his name tag.
Hilarious.
I know. I was like, why nobody puts their first and last name on a name tag at work, at least that I've seen.
No, yeah,
and
I've never
especially
seen
that funny of a name. I was like, what?
And
that's him.
With the now, I don't know if there's a deleted scene here, but with the amount that he was in the episode, a lot of times they would just say Lowe's worker.
Oh, yeah, totally. No, there was no deleted scene. This was it.
Yeah. Okay.
As far as I know.
So somebody just had a lot of fun naming him and was like, we're doing it.
Yeah, totally. But the fun thing is that he is played by Rob Mainord, who has the same manager as me, which is so cool. Amazing. Because one of the reasons I got my manager was because, and I think I'm cool to say this, because like you get your manager / representation in any kind of way. But one of the reasons that I got them is because I built up such a great relationship with them, or at least in my head, I think I did, via email asking for their actors. They were always so punctual and on time and always gave me great like feedback and things like that. So, but anyway, Rob did message back, but he is on vacation until September 7th. So he's not going to email the full answers to the questions until later. So I'll have to put him in a recap. But I do want to say my manager forwarded me the email that like saying that he would be interested. And he said, I'd be happy to talk with Holly. It was a small role on Parks and Rec that became a very popular meme, which I think was so funny because it totally has. And I mean, that's really all I have right now to say about like what he responded with because he's out of town. But yeah, it did become a very popular meme. And like, who'd have thunk it? I don't think he thought when he was auditioning that this would become so freaking popular.
Yeah. Well, but he does such a great job. Like, just.
I like the way he responds. He's like,
okay.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah. Just the inflection that he uses, that he just kind of gets out of Ron's way. And yeah, he does a great job. Like,
totally.
Perfect.
It's like straight face, yeah.
Yep.
But he's been on Angie Tribeca, NCIS, This Is Us, Grey's Anatomy. He's done a ton of stuff.
Wow.
So I'm really excited to hear his answers when he gets back from vacation.
Yeah. Good for him. Self-care boundaries.
Yeah,
I'm not going to answer
totally.
these while I'm on vacation.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just sent them, so he might. I don't know. But I hope he doesn't. Enjoy your vacation.
Yes.
Anyway, okay, now we're back at the party, if you are. Where
Yes,
Ron is enlisting Anne to help.
Yeah, and he's explaining that this is his wedding gift to Andy in April. This toolbox and helping them around the house, which is almost a gift to him too, because he really loves doing it. But I do think it's a really wonderful wedding gift too. I like it's not like sometimes Ron is like, I'm going to do this for someone, and you're like, that's not a gift or whatever. But this is actually really wonderful. So hats off to Ron.
I know. Well, he enlists Anne to help, but and she's an eggplant, which I think is like such a strange outfit, but that's fine.
I love that he calls her a beanbag because
I know it totally looks
doesn't
like
really have the shape fully of an eggplant. So fair.
No. And in the deleted scenes, she says that she puts the Anne in eggplant. And I was like, reaching, but okay.
Oh, Anne. Oh,
but
Anne.
also, like, in the deleted scenes, Chris sees her, and he calls her a bruised eggplant. And she's like, why bruised? Like, what are you talking about? And, like, there was a spill on her costume, apparently, from, like, some Chinese food that she had earlier. And she was like, oh my God. But anyway, so that is what Anne is. And Ron says he needs small hands, which is also a strange offer and kind of scary. Because, like, what do you need small hands for?
Yeah.
But this is when Ben comes out.
Yes.
If you're there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, weirdly, Andy is being the mature one, asking him, like, hey, if you're mad, just, like, say something. Like, because that's also, I feel like for a lot of, like, I don't know, not self-actualized people, like, they're just waiting for someone to ask them the direct question kind of thing, as opposed to just coming out and saying it. And, you know, you had your opening, Ben.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that goes along with that, I think, with the I'm waiting for someone to ask me. You know, there's maybe some lack of confidence, maybe wanting the attention of I want somebody to notice that something's wrong. And, you know, like there's a lot of underlying things that could be going on. But yeah, I think you expect more from Ben because of how mature he typically is for him to just come out and be and say why he's upset. I think because we see him also at work that when something's wrong, he calls it out. I think the difference here is that he lives with Andy in April. And so if he says something out and it creates a tiff, then he has to live in the tiff.
Maybe. It's also like he's a very sarcastic person. So I think that he's already kind of a passive aggressive person. But I think you're saying with all these juxtapositions, we're kind of seeing like who he is in his work life and who he is in his personal life.
Yeah.
You know,
the personal life. It's definitely a little different.
Yeah, but also like, and I have a note on this like way later, but it just bears repeating. You can move. You can afford to get your own fucking place. Like, and you don't have to deal with this. Why are you still living there? It makes me so mad. I don't know why. I was just like, you don't have to live there. And you
like if it's pissing him off this much,
long.
It's like, yeah. Are you saying like if it's making you this upset, like leave? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, also, like, deal with your problems and be an adult. Sure, do that, too.
Right.
But also, like, you get to control your surroundings with your paycheck and what I'm sure you're, like, capable of affording.
Right.
It's like, this is your problem, bro. Like, this is in the first episode when he moves in. Like, in the deleted scenes, we talked about how it was a lot of his own doing. Like, he knew Andy and April were, like, kind of a mess, obviously. But, like, he was like, I just want to help them, I think. And now he's doing this. So I'm like, and I know deleted scenes aren't always canon, but I'm like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah. I
So
think there's a
anyhow.
lot we could unpack if we wanted to take full time to like unpack it, because we think about the timing of him and Leslie breaking up and needing a distraction and all this
Yeah.
other stuff too.
That's
So
true.
that-
But I mean,
yeah.
he
Not
moved in
saying
when
it's
they
like-
were together. Right?
Did he? I thought it was right after they broke up, because
Okay.
she goes with the painting and is surprised to see him there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh, I live here now."
Okay. I didn't know if they were together or not. But either way, I don't know. I just think I don't know. One thing that frustrates me, and I'm sure that I'm like being a hypocrite in some regards, but one thing that frustrates me is that like when people complain so frequently about things you can change.
Right. Oh, you don't have to explain that to me. That was half of my job before I had this one. It's like,
So-
and as a friend, sometimes you give advice, or as in my job, I would give advice. And then 2 years later, we're still talking about the same shit. It's like, I've told you what I think I would
Yeah.
do. Like,
And I've done that with
no
my
sympathy.
friends too. I've been like, I love you so much, but I don't know how long I can talk about this.
Yeah.
I've done that with you, I think. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
if I've said it in that like mean of a way, because in this I'm thinking of Ben
Right,
being like
right.
annoying. But like I think I've said in certain instances where I'm just like, okay, but remember you told me that last time and the time before
Right.
that? Like what's
Oh,
the
it
end
was
game?
definitely with this job, the job that I had.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So it's,
anyhow, but that's a different circumstance. But regardless, it's
but
like
still,
get
no,
it
it,
together.
yeah, it's still frustrating, to be
Yeah.
like, but you bring this up all the time.
Yeah, and I know that you can be happier.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You have control.
So
you have
that's
control
where it
over
comes
this.
from.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. Back to Parks and Rec.
Yes.
All right, so we're at the meeting. Leslie's making her speech, pointing out all the businesses. She starts pointing out everyone. I'm pretty positive I did improv with the guy that is like featured in this one, which by the way, those are all background actors. They were not hired.
Okay.
I can just tell you that.
And they just smile, the ones that just smile
Yes.
and nod. Cool.
I can guarantee you, and like I am not saying this because I talked to a producer and they confirmed it, but I can guarantee you from doing background work that those people were hired as background actors, and the director or second AD or whatever pointed at them and was like, the camera's going to come to you on this one, you on this one, you on this one, you on this one, so just smile at Leslie.
Right.
But anyway,
Because they don't
I'm
have
pretty
lines.
Exactly. Right. But I'm pretty positive that I did improv with one of the guys that they feature here, where the Jeff
cool.
Savings and Loan, the one that has like the really big smile.
Yeah.
I was like, that guy looks so familiar. I'm pretty positive that's who it was. But anyway, I also love that the tramp stamp tattoos is this like wholesome looking lady.
Yes.
I thought that was really funny.
Very
And the
great.
cemetery guy looks like an actual cemetery guy.
Yep.
Sorry, but that's what it looked like. Also,
Sorry, not
fried
sorry.
dough stand goes with the mobile phone emporium, which
Weird.
these are just really funny businesses.
Yeah. This is very interesting. Which they exist for sure, like in big cities. Like sometimes you'll get somewhere and you're like, why do they have this and this in here?
Right. And then Tom comes and blows everything up. So
Yeah.
frustrating. Especially
Yeah.
when he says, thanks so much for that introduction, Leslie. No.
Yeah. That's.
But he was doing so well. Well, he at the binder part, I feel like he was. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Well, I think what we see in the call from John Ralphio is the turnaround
yeah.
and
You're
the
right.
panic. The panic comes from Tom after that, because I agree with you. Like we said, he was doing a great job in the beginning. He was showing he did his prep. I think he felt confident going in, and then something
Yeah, now
happened.
he's panicking.
Yeah, now he's in panic mode, and he's like, now I've got to do all this stuff. So, yeah, that I have so much just frustration, because if I had a friend that did that, that's really frustrating. And also, she hired it. Like it sounds like she hired him.
That's true. It does.
Because
you're
later
getting
she
paid
says, "I
cash
tried
money.
to hire you," right? So
That's
it's like, I think she's not trying to get a free ride from him.
Right.
So
I think that's true. Yeah. He's getting paid for this, and he still F's up, like,
Yeah.
or doesn't treat it like that. But again, we're in panic mode. But I will say this is like one of the funniest things Tom, I feel like, has ever done, the little song thing where dreams come, they come true. I love that so much.
He is not in tune.
Entertainment 720. I just love it so much. I
Yeah.
think it's great.
It's great. It is classic Tom. Yeah.
I do love that everybody's like blank faces are just like,
What the hell
what is happening here?
Yeah.
And the video that he made or whatever, where he's like Mark Zuckerberg, and also the video before that where he's like in that weird like high backed chair.
Mm-hmm.
Like introducing 720 or E720.
Good times.
So now I'm back at the Halloween party if you are.
Yes, and I really like this scene because there's nothing said, right? We're in this party, and we look, and on the dance floor we see Chris basically grinding up against the backside of Millie as she like goes to reach down to the floor and comes back up. Poor Jerry is like, what the hell am I witnessing? And April walks up and turns his smile into a frown.
That's so good.
Like, so much happens in like 10, 15 seconds of no words.
Right.
But it just says so much at the same time. So
yeah, totally. Oh my God. I know. And also, like, I don't know. I guess they just don't care about Jerry being there anymore.
Yeah. Well, but then we get more information later that we don't need, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's just, yeah. Chris is really not writing this very, very well.
Yeah.
Totally. I think because he feels like he's being open about like where he's at in his relationship with Millie. He's like, I can do whatever I want now, like, because I've been open. And it's like, okay, but you still.
But Millie doesn't care either. Because like
she
Millie
really doesn't
like
care.
Knows that he's there.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ron and Anne are now fixing the bathroom, and Anne asks to learn something or like actually be taught how to do this stuff. And so Ron kind of like starts teaching her, and Ron says he loves the pride and accomplishment that comes from that. And for me personally, I like can't relate to this. I truly have no interest in like homeowning or like learning how to fix anything. Like if someone fixes something and like you want to scratch the surface of how to do it, then maybe, or like, I don't know, maybe if it's something that I would really truly need all the time, like, I don't know, I can't even think of anything, like maybe if the water turns out or something like that. But I have no interest in like interior design or like color schemes or like how furniture matches that other thing. Like, I don't know what it is. I just want to pay someone to fix it. And that's why I live in an apartment, and it's wonderful. But I also can understand how it would be exciting, like to fit the puzzle pieces together if you are a homeowner.
Yeah. I kind of get what you're saying though. Like, cause I'm kind of the same way. If it's something that's going to happen once in a blue moon, like I'd rather just hire somebody who's going to be able to fix it 100% correctly the first time. Mm-hmm. But if it is something that's going to be reoccurring, and it's an easy fit, like a clogged toilet or something that's going to be easy to, you know, it's going to happen so much that I'm going to waste so much money paying someone. Like, I'd rather learn how to do that. But yeah, it's not like I want to. It's funny because I work for a construction company now, but I have no desire to know how to do all of that stuff. Yeah. So
not necessary to me, but
no.
It's okay. For some people, it really does give pride and accomplishment. So I get it.
The interior design part is where I'm an HGTV person, and we just got new furniture, as you know, and I'm like, I told Ivan, I was like, I'm so ready to go to TJ Maxx and get all the things to decorate the rest of everything.
Nice. Oh my gosh, or Home Goods or something.
Yes, I love those stores so much. Yeah. And my mom's going to come and probably do the exact same thing. I'm so excited.
Yay. Did you notice that there is a Ninja Dick poster in the bathroom? Which, by the way, was one of the band names that Andy had.
Yes, I did know that Ninja Dick was a band name. I did not catch the poster. Nice.
Oh my God, I thought that was so great.
That's amazing.
Like, oh
my God. Why is it always in the bathroom? There was a Mousetrap poster in the bathroom in the place where they got married, too.
I don't know. I guess... Well, you mean where they got married, like at their house?
Yeah, that's the same place. Never mind.
I'm assuming that it's kind of like at a bar or an improv club or comedy club or something where they put up ads in the bathroom. Like they're going to do that at home too, so that people like when they're going to the bathroom can have, you know, something in mind to go see and buy a ticket to.
That is.
But I guess Ninja Dick now has its own band members because that was a band name for Mousetrap, but now it's another thing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So. Anyways, also the shock wire is so disturbing.
Oh my gosh.
How is that?
It's not up to code. Thing? There's no way.
Like that is so gnarly and so scary. And I'm sure they've had some serious like close calls with it too.
Andy's tall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
also, I love how at the beginning, though, when the sink is leaking or whatever, he's like, really, I just stuffed a sock in it the other day. Like, what else do they want me to do?
It reminds me of Nick from New Girl, who just like hits the pipes.
Yep, totally.
Or like puts a soda bottle in the wall to run water. Yeah, it's the quick fix.
Well, now we're back at the meet and greet, if you are.
Yes.
And Tom is pretending, well, again, we already talked about this, but the video where he's pretending to be Mark Zuckerberg, in the video, I invented Facebook, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
And then the E720 divas come out. I thought that was so funny.
I think he got this from Joan.
I know.
With
Oh my
the gotcha
God. I love
dancers.
that. So
Yeah.
funny. It kind of reminded me, I don't know why my brain went to this, but on the Amanda show, the Dancing Lobsters is what that reminded
Oh my
me.
God, I love it. I miss the
I need to
Amanda
look
show.
up. Yes, I need to look up the names of these divas. I didn't even check when I was doing my research, but I'm sure they're listed somewhere. So,
Mhm.
and then he talked about the mobile hot tub, which is really hilarious to me.
Yeah.
By the way, they had, well, I don't know if they have it anymore because some of them are being like outlawed and stuff, but they used to have a party bus with a hot tub in it here. Like that would go up and down Broadway because they have
Oh,
party
that's
buses
cool.
all the time. I don't know how safe that is
Or sanitary.
or sanitary. Seems very strange, but they
Yeah.
did have that
All
at
right.
one point.
Very interesting.
Anyway, okay, now I'm back at the party.
Yes. And everyone
And I
is being
kinda
a
wanted to-
child. That's what I have written.
You said what?
Everyone is being a child.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to punch April when she said Ben couldn't have a Butterfinger, even though I know Ben's being crazy.
Yeah, I felt the same way. Like where I was like, okay, I get where you're coming from, April, but like that's also not the way to handle it.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting. They each talk about each of their backgrounds and like why they're behaving the way they are. Like they have this sister, that's how they behave with their sister. Andy has the brothers, and that's how he behaves with them. Which he finally does go into Ben's room and says, like, you know, I'm gonna beat you up until you tell me what you're talking about. Also,
That's
like,
not
what
so
is Ben
mature.
working
but-
on? Like, why are you
Yeah.
working, Ben?
Yeah, it's Halloween. It's well past 5 p.m., of course, because everybody's there. Like,
Yeah. I mean, maybe it's like, what is he working on though? Like, is it actually work, or what is it something like in your spare time? Because I understand that he has his own treat yourself moment that's kind of nerdy.
Yeah.
So like maybe this is relaxing to him, but like if it's actually work, can you like? I hope you're getting paid for it.
yeah. Yeah, it could be one of his fan fictions.
I don't know. So
Yeah.
weird.
It's very
But
weird.
anyway, yeah, like you said, Andy, not the most mature thing, but at least it's like getting them talking. So
Yeah. Mhm.
wrestling, crying, and a lot of hugs.
A lot of hugs. Love it.
Love that. Well, now Leslie's apologizing to Martin because Entertainment 720 took over the whole thing. And Martin, like we talked about before, says he doesn't like showmanship. He's a very frugal dude, and that's why he gives himself his own haircuts. LOL. But
Explains so
now,
much.
yes, it really explains so much. But now Tom has really done it because now Martin says they don't share the same values. So Leslie and Martin are not going to be like working together / like Martin doesn't have Leslie's vote because of this.
Right. Yeah.
Which is really
blew it.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think it really would have been a great party.
I know, me too. I do too.
Yeah.
If he just kind of like went with his original plan.
Yeah.
And you're right, like as far as he probably could have gotten business from the party if he just, you know, let
Yeah.
it roll the way it was supposed to.
I would have been totally fine with him having business cards
Yeah.
out or passing
Yeah.
business cards out and just telling, like, there's ways he could have marketed himself without
Yeah.
being a dick.
Yeah. Well, Leslie goes to confront Tom about this, and he's in his mobile hot tub, which, by
Yeah.
the way, they, I don't know, I just feel like that limo is so long. Like
It's so long, which
it's
is
so
she
much longer
acts
than
it-
I anticipated.
She acts it so well for that too, because she's literally
Uh-huh.
like, "Where
You're
is
like-
this ending?"
Yeah. But I love that Leslie starts dunking Tom and is like, look at me. I don't want to see your face. Look at me in the face. I don't want to see your face. I just love
Yeah.
it so much.
Yeah,
I think it's funny.
it's I feel like we kind of have like they're on different timelines here, right? Like Leslie wasn't ready for the event, right? She needed to do some research. Tom was calm. He had everything under control. Then he goes into panic mode. And then
Yeah.
she feels calm. I've got everything in control when she's there. And then he starts fucking everything up.
Yeah.
And now he's in I'm done mode.
Yeah.
She's in the panic mode.
She's just mad at this point.
Yeah.
She's just like, I hate you so much. Like,
Yeah.
you fucked up everything.
Right. So their energy has been like right behind one another the whole time.
Yeah.
I feel like. And she's in her make a crazy Facebook video mode of like, I'm going to dunk you in this hot tub.
Right. Well, and Tom finally confesses, like, the reason why he did it, that
Mm-hmm.
Entertainment 720 is dead. They lost all their money. And we'll get to why that all happened a little bit later. But before that, we're back at the party, and Ron has to turn off the power. And when it's back on, Chris and Millie are just like making out on the couch right next to Jerry, and it's like so much PDA, and it's really uncomfortable for everyone.
It's very
involved.
her like skirt is like all the way riding up.
Yeah.
Like it's super uncomfortable.
When she stands up, it's actually, I mean, you can see it more in the deleted scene, but when she stands up, like the black shorts are showing. Like it's a really short dress.
Okay. All right. I wasn't sure.
And I was going to save this till the end, but since we're talking about it, I thought she was an orange because it just looked like that's what she was. But in the deleted scenes, it says that she is a pumpkin.
Oh. Okay.
So she has the orange outfit with a little like pumpkin stem on the top. And Chris says that she made it more revealing. So this makes sense.
Okay. Fair.
Anyway. All right. So now we're back at the hot tub, and Tom says they've been hemorrhaging money ever since it opened. Like, you got to spend money to make money. I don't know where we went wrong. We spent all our money. Oh my God. And I'm like,
you know what he did? I think he read the tagline of every business book, because that's right. You do have to spend money to make money. But then he didn't read the book.
yeah.
Like there's an explanation behind that and how to be like smart about it.
Right.
So, and I love this here too, because we see Leslie, she gets the news from him and she sinks into the hot tub with him, like being her true
Which is
Leslie friend
hilarious.
self, you know, like if he had come to her, like this is how she would have responded. Like she wouldn't
Yeah.
have been pissed at you. Like
That's really
if he had
true.
come to her sooner. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I still
That's
think
like
she
the
can be mad at
subtitle.
him.
Yeah, 100%. That's like the subtitle for this one then, is that, you know, just communicate.
Communicate.
Everybody's communication is off in this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Leslie says they need some good old-fashioned comfort food, which she obviously means waffles, and he says albacore tuna with crispy onions, which is really funny.
Yeah. I'm a waffle. My would be waffle.
Yeah, or like mashed potatoes or mac and cheese or something.
Carbs. Yeah, just carbs.
Yep,
Lots of
that's
carbs.
it.
Yep.
Well, now we're back at the party. Ron gives Anne the toolbox as a token of appreciation and says that she earned it, which I think is so sweet and lovely.
Yeah, it is very nice. Very unlike Ron, but it's a very cute little progression in their relationship.
Yeah. Andy still has Ben in a headlock, which I think is funny that Ron like tries to teach him, or not teach him, but like tells him to keep a firm grip or whatever.
Keep pressure on the cranium.
Right. But then they have a fight and Ben like accidentally breaks Andy's nose. But instead of getting mad, Andy finally is like, you expressed yourself. That's great. I'm so glad that you did that. And he thinks that it's blood capsules, but he actually broke his nose.
Yep. Yep. This whole
pretty nasty.
like progression is great. You know?
Totally.
And we're finally getting something out of Ben that's not just passive.
Right. Totally.
So, love the chair broken. That's definitely a WWE thing, but it kind of like made it feel like a real wrestling match.
I could see that.
So
speaking of that, in the deleted scene, like Anne says that they should fix that, the broken chair, and she's like, "Don't worry about it, I got it." And it's really cute.
Love the confidence.
Yes. So now Tom and Leslie are having their comfort food. Also, like, where I tried to look up where this place is. I'm so confused. I'm guessing maybe it's at the hotel, but the waitress is wearing like a German uniform thing. It looks kind of fancy. It's not JJ's.
No, it's not
where
JJ's.
is this place?
Yeah. That's what confused me, because I thought they would have just driven to JJ's.
Yeah.
But
I don't know. Maybe it was unavailable. But the restaurant outfit, I was like, what is happening here? Like the uniform or whatever. But
right.
Anyway, Tom says he told people he was booked up for 2 weeks straight to make people think that they should want him more. And oh my God, it's so awful.
Yeah.
That's not what you do.
No. And again, this is another one where it's like, I think he read the headline and didn't read the article, because you can do something like that. That's like, oh, we've been getting a lot of requests about that date. Let me see what I can do for you. Let me go back and check.
Yeah.
So it still sounds like, hey, we have a lot of people asking us to book, but you're not turning away the business, right? You're making it seem like we're helping you out.
Or if you take the business, then you can actually create like an actual wait list.
Right.
Because you probably will have to, put people on a wait list.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what's sad about it, really, for me, is that people were actually calling for his service. It wasn't like he wasn't having anybody reach out. It was people were calling and you were sending them away. Like,
yeah.
Oh, Tom.
Or like take their number and then call them back after you're done. Like that's, oh, honey.
Yeah.
But
oh, buddy. But
anyway,
I think, it's a learning experience he needed. And I think it's really well written in the show that he always wanted to be an entrepreneur. This was his opportunity to be an entrepreneur, and he made a lot of mistakes. He's going to learn his lessons, and he's going to turn things around, hopefully, in the future.
Yeah. I also do like how Leslie says, like, it seems like regular sight should have caught that one.
Agreed.
Like, I like that she's being honest, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's true. Like, hindsight's 20/20. It is true. I use this all the time, like, just with friends, though, when she says, didn't I ask for whipped cream on this? There is quite a bit of whipped cream on there, but she wants more.
And I'm okay with her wanting more.
I also really loved seeing this side of Aziz's acting in this, because I feel like we don't really see him as often be as genuine and, like, honest and vulnerable and, like, kind of scared to a degree. And it's really nice to see Leslie build him up, you know, and see Tom's, like, you know, real side. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and it's not because we've seen him be whiny before.
Right.
Like where he's, you know, complaining and he's whiny, but this isn't whiny. This is like, I fucked up. And I think there's few people in the office that we would see him be that vulnerable with.
Right.
Like I don't think he would have this open of a conversation with like April, maybe.
Yeah. And he's looking at this as his like last chance kind of thing. Whereas Leslie kind of reminds him, like, you know, you're going to think of a lot of ideas. Like, you're a smart dude. Like, there's going to be a lot of things that you can do. And now you can take the things that you learned and put them on the next one. Whereas I think Tom is like, this was my chance and I failed again. I can't do it again. But you can, and you have to. And you will.
Yeah. It's just tiring in the moment, right? Like, he just put so much effort into this and he just needs some recoup time. And that's okay to need that.
Okay, so now we're back at the hospital. Or not back at the hospital, but we're at the hospital.
Yes.
And we're finally hashing out the problems with Ben and Andy and April. Again, this is where I have in all caps, like, Ben, why are you living there? Just get out.
Yeah.
But whatever. Jeanne Simpson comes back as Diane, the nurse, which is so cute that they brought her back. I'm so glad. She sent us voice memos like a while back.
Yeah.
And so I asked her if she had any memories, and she emailed me back, and she said, let me think. She was so cute, too. She said, your podcast is awesome. Let me think if I have any fun story or memory to add. I used to feel guilty about hoping all the characters would end up in the hospital, like, as an excuse for that's why they would use me. And I was like, oh, my God, I want that, too, for you, you know?
Yeah.
Or like a hospital office party mashup situation, which they kind of sort of did in the first Halloween. Right. But anyway, so she's going to be thinking about what like any story she has, but I'm glad that she messaged me back because that was a fun little nugget too.
Nice.
And then, you know, Ben finally explains why he doesn't, you know, feel good or, you know, whatever. And April says that they have sex on Ben's comforters because Andy's like, we can't use the comforters for our forts anymore. And April's like, what are we going to have sex on? And I was just like, ew.
If that's, I can see her saying that just to make Ben feel gross.
Yeah.
And also he does a great job. Adam Scott's face is perfect after
it's so good.
That line. But if she's actually doing that, like, they are so inconsiderate and disrespectful.
I think they're actually doing that. That's what I think. If they're using it for the fort,
that's
100% they're doing it.
So gross. Like, if they're using it for a fort, that's one thing. Like, yes, okay, you shouldn't be without asking, right? But add on having sex on top of it, that's so gross and so disrespectful.
Yep. Ben needs to move out, but whatever.
Yeah. I do think it's cute that Andy's like, we're brothers. We're not friends. We're brothers.
I know. Isn't that in Remember the Titans?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
Oh my God. You should really watch it.
That's a sad one, right?
It's a legend for a reason. Yeah, but it's like really good.
Okay.
It's really, and you would like it, you know, sports.
Yeah, I do like
but
sports.
no, that's, I'm pretty positive that's what's famous in Remember the Titans. It's like one guy is black and one guy's white, and one of them's in the hospital, and one goes to visit them, and the nurse asks, like, are you related or are you friends or whatever? And he's like, no, he's my brother. And obviously they're not because they're different races, but it's like so heartfelt and wonderful.
Oh, that's so nice.
I think that's what that's from.
Okay.
Or maybe it's like in multiple movies, but that's what I remember it from. So anyways, all right. So now we are back at the office watching the video that Tom made for Leslie, which is so cute.
Yeah.
It's really precious.
And this is the thing, like, he had a success on his hands.
I know. He did the job.
Yeah. Which is what makes me so sad.
I know. Maybe Leslie still paid him. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I love how he takes on the accent of whatever he thinks the video needs. Like the little Sebastian one was a British accent, and then he has a Southern accent for this one. It's really funny.
Yeah, it's great. It's very well done.
But it does show Tom going through a follow-through, which is nice, with Martin Kernston, like begging/bribing to meet with him. I think he gives him like a haircut.
It's a
blades
kit,
and scissors.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice, I feel.
Yeah, he did. He went back and did
he made up for it.
Some damage control. Yeah.
Yeah. And Leslie gets to meet with Martin again, so I think that is now settled.
Yeah.
She says failure is not the falling down, but the staying down. Yeah. And that is from Mary Pickford, which I didn't realize. I'm really glad that she said that and that we're doing this podcast, because I didn't know Mary Pickford's like history. Mm-hmm. But she, her real name is Gladys Marie Smith, and she was known professionally as Mary Pickford. But she's a Canadian actress who was a resident in the U.S., and she was also a producer, screenwriter, and film studio founder back in like the 20s. And this was not a time for women to be in leadership positions anywhere, let alone, motion pictures. Yeah. But she was actually a founder of the Motion Picture Academy, which is so crazy.
Wow.
I know.
So cool.
She was a pioneer in the U.S. film industry with a Hollywood career that spanned 5 decades, and she was much admired for her philanthropy. But before all that, she was a darling of the silent screen. She became apparently, maybe it wasn't in the 20s. Maybe it was in the 40s and 50s. Does that make more sense for silent films? Shoot, I can't remember. Either way, it was really, really early. But it was really funny because when she was 20, I think that might have been why I said the 20s, because when she was 20, she became famous for playing 14-year-old girls, which is so hilarious because that's kind of still a thing today, 30-year-olds playing high schoolers.
1920s looks right.
Okay.
Yep.
So, yeah, she was like really pivotal in, producing in the Motion Picture Academy, and I think that is such an amazing thing to learn, especially with everything that's happening now, but just in general, it's really cool.
Yeah.
And her characters were always very sweet and virginal waifish girls, which I think is really funny that they said that. But that's can we talk about, like, that's what every ingenue is apparently wanting to be, okay? Especially in that time. Like, that's what they all want from us. Okay, so whatever. But she was amazing, and we love Mary Pickford. She obviously, I think, has passed away, I want to say. When did she die? She died. I should have looked this up. Mary Pickford's... Yes, she died May 29th, 1979.
Okay.
So, yeah, I would say the 30s was probably when she was acting. 20s, 30s, something like that. She was 5'1". Little baby.
Little thing.
Little thing. But anyway, so thank you, Mary Pickford, for your contributions, and I think it's great that I could look that up.
Yeah, and what a great quote, because it's so true.
Totally. It's so true.
Yeah.
Tom won't be down for long.
Very true, yeah.
But she loves the video. She says it's really great. She's crying. She wants to play it on her gravestone when she dies, which is really hilarious.
Yeah. I love that.
And then this tag here is Chris, Millie, and Jerry walking out of the party. This is where I wrote that I thought maybe she was an orange, but she's a pumpkin. And it is one thing, though, to, like, hear Chris talk about what they're doing to Jerry, like, in the office and stuff, and now to see it, I can imagine that would be really disgusting. But yeah, Millie, I don't know. I thought Millie would, like, care more, but she's just like, bye, Dad. I like that voice that she has.
Yeah. Yeah, I do like
really
the voice that she has, but I agree. Like, I would be, like, hitting my boyfriend. Like, stop saying that shit.
Yeah.
You know? So it's...
But I guess they figure he doesn't care, so...
I don't know. Yeah. I love that April took his keys.
I know.
Usually I'm like,
I actually like that.
Why are we doing that stuff? But this, I was so on board.
Maybe to people who deserve it / that are annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. Because he was annoying everyone when he got there. Like, trying to figure out their costumes and stuff and just being super annoying. And then now he's, like, making Jerry super uncomfortable. Like, I'm okay with the fact that he's going to have to go find his keys.
Yeah. And, like, saying that he's the handsome version of Sherlock Holmes.
Have you seen Robert Downey Jr.? Come on.
Hello. Or even Benedict Cumberbatch. I know that's Benedict way later, but, like, come on.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed.
Anyway. Well, the last little note that I have is on the webisode from the Grand Canyon that I was like kind of talking about.
Okay.
So I just really wanted to briefly tell you about that because it's the last one. Andy and April are at the Grand Canyon finally, and they say they want to build a house on this little tiny area that they're like viewing the Grand Canyon from, which is hilarious. And they say they'll build water slides to get down into the canyon.
Oh my gosh.
And Andy is going to hire Reggie Wayne to play football with him at the Grand Canyon. And it's really hilarious because he looks out to the canyon and like all around him and he's like, who are these people that aren't living here? Why aren't there houses everywhere? And April's like, people are so stupid. And yes. I just think it's really hilarious. And then he tries to like put a stick in the ground so that he like kind of like the American flag in the moon so that they can make sure that they know where exactly the place was. And the stick breaks and it's just really funny. So that was the last of the webisodes though.
Very cute.
For that
I
one
like
anyway.
That little side quest.
I know, I do too. I think it's really precious. I forgot that they did webisodes.
Yeah. I forgot that The Office did webisodes until
recently. I know. I don't think I watched them when they were on.
Yeah, no.
So, anyways. Well, do you have any other notes?
No, I think that was great. The only thing that we missed along the way was that Oren was there. And I loved that Oren was there. And the interaction that Ben had trying to make sure Oren didn't go into his bedroom was just
That's
perfect.
true.
So shout out to Oren for being there because we love a good Oren scene.
Totally. There was a deleted scene too where Oren like is kind of dancing, but not really. Like he's like doing the eye thing, like the Vogue kind of vibe. And it's with Anne, and Anne's like, no thanks, I'm good. And then Chris comes up. And like puts his arm around Oren too. This is all deleted scenes. So he had more scenes. Millie had a lot more scenes actually in deleted scenes as well, or a lot more lines anyway. But yes, we love Oren being there and just kind of being in the background.
Yes. Yeah, just the background work is great. I love it.
Yeah, totally. But, I mean, this one didn't really have as many, like, super crazy plot points or a guest star, so I feel like we wrapped it up in a really short amount of time, I feel. So if I miss anything, I'll try to put it in a recap, but hopefully we can also get it so that I can have some voice memos or tell you some emails from the people, like the Lowe's guy, Rob Mainord, and maybe Jeanne Simpson, who plays the nurse. But if not, thank you for messaging me anyway. I really appreciated that. And so we'll see you on the next one.
The next one, End of the World.
Yeah.
This will be a good one. So
I know. It's starting to get back to our Ben and Leslie moments because we really haven't seen them interact at all.
Yeah. I think it was very intentional.
Totally.
So this one's it's gonna spark us a little bit.
Yeah, because Tweep comes back and becomes a home wrecker.
A home wrecker.
Not really, but kind of.
Yeah. There's a middle ground in that one for sure of like understanding where Leslie's coming from and also being
I mean they're not dating, so she can't be really a home wrecker.
Yeah.
So
this is true. But in our hearts.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Well, let us know if you have any other questions or want us to research anything else. But if not, we will see you on the next one.
And have a great week.
Bye.
There's a park and some pals, and there's also therapy too.